It's Q&A time again, and I am happy that we're getting more and more stuff from you guys, more and more questions being sent in. We are doing it in the usual way. In other words, I have not seen the questions before. I don't know what question is coming up, and I'm going to try to answer them as best and as truthfully as I can. So let's get right into it. Question by Ben, can you order that jacket anywhere? Now, I can't see right now which jacket exactly you're referring to, but there is 3 jackets that people keep asking me about. It is number 1, the BRABUS soft shell team jacket, black. It is the G900 college jacket, and it is the winter jacket that JP from JP Performance was wearing when we shot the Shadow 900 Black Ops video on the River Rhine. All of those jackets are available at shop.brabus.com. We'll link it in the description, and you can find the jackets there. Actually, the story behind it is that especially the soft shell jacket was meant to be for our team only, but we've been receiving so many questions about it and so many people liked it that now we've made it available for sale, and you will find it in the online shop. Question by SVFR, do you also rebuild old Mercedes-Benz or only new current ones? Now, I am interpreting that question because this question could go several ways. I'm understanding that you're asking if we also individualize BRABUSIZE older Mercedes-Benz models. The answer is yes, depending on what products we still have available for those cars. Let's say you wanted to bring a 190e to BRABUS HQ in Bottrop right now. We could of course still do an interior. We would probably find a set of wheels that would still fit the car. However, since that is not the focus of what we do today, and we would have to keep every single part and every single collection for each car in stock, in this case for more than 25 years, that is simply not possible. So I'm going to say yes, in some cases we can still do something. When it comes to interior individualization, we can do something for sure. But also for other cars, we're simply not going to have the parts available. Of course, for current models, that is no problem. Just in case you were talking about classic, although I think you were not, the classic cars that we restore at BRABUS Classic are not BRABUSized in the normal sense of the word. They are original restorations, and we rebuild those cars from the ground up to get as close to the original Mercedes-Benz, mostly from the 50s or 60s, as we can get. Next up is Mark Gable. Dear Constantin, what does electrification mean for your tuning business? Will there only be accessory sales, or is BRABUS planning its own electric G? Mark, thank you very much for the question. Again, there is more than one question here, so let me try to take it apart and answer it one by one. First of all, what does electrification mean for your tuning business? I believe that for 45 years we have been selling luxury, individuality, and exclusivity, and that is not going to change whether we sell products with a combustion engine, with an electric engine, or let's say things like a fuel cell or an engine using synthetic fuels or any other drivetrain variant that we see out there right now. There's certainly some exciting variables. Is it changing things? Absolutely. Of course, we've been focused on the combustion engine in terms of the performance of our cars for the last 4 decades, and electric mobility is mixing up things in the industry and has been doing so for some time, and there is no end in sight. It is definitely offering us some cool opportunities. I love the cars coming out right now. The EQC, the EQC was kind of the first Mercedes-Benz car. I'm not talking about Tesla and everything else, but the cars that we're dealing directly with. The first one was the EQC on the BRABUS side, and the EQS. That is, to me, the first highly relevant electric car by Mercedes-Benz, and I can't wait to see what we can do with it. But it is also, electric mobility is also offering a whole lot of challenges in terms of range, in terms of the capability to modify an engine or a drivetrain, in terms of sustainability, of course, and many, many more challenges. I see electric mobility on a trajectory to become a more mature technology right now, and so we will have we will see more and more electric cars coming from OEMs and reaching us for BRABUSizing. That's simply a fact, so we're going to have to deal with it. In short, is it changing our business? Yes. Is it affecting the core of what we've been selling the last 45 years? I can't say no completely, but no to a large extent, because the base is still exclusivity, luxury, individuality, and that's going to remain. Will there be our own electric G-Class? No. We have been dealing with the models by Mercedes-Benz now for a long time, and you will see more in-depth builds. You will see different kind of, I imagine that we're going to be, and I know we're working on different kinds of cars that no one is expecting from us, and we'll go as BRABUS, we'll go more in-depth than we've ever done in terms of modification. Since you're asking for the electric G specifically, Mercedes-Benz showed the concept car for the EQG, I think last year at the IAA. I looked at it. I'm completely excited about it because I love the G-Class, and this is an exciting way to give this car a future. I can't wait for it to come out. It's a different animal from the combustion engine G-Class, so we'll see how they compare when it's out, but it doesn't make any sense for us to plan a car just like it. Next question by Julian. Hi, I have a question, and that is, why do your customers buy a BRABUS? Because of the interior or the exterior look or the performance? Good question. I believe it's a combination. It is neither just the interior. It is not just the interior. It is not just the exterior, and it's also not just the performance. There are those customers that only buy a performance upgrade. There are those customers that only buy an interior. But most of the customers, I would say 90% of our customers combine several categories of BRABUSizing. Now, when we talk about BRABUS masterpieces, so the cars that really get modified here at BRABUS HQ in Germany, by definition, a BRABUS masterpiece is a car that has been BRABUSized 100%. In other words, it's a car that you will see BRABUS on the exterior, you will see BRABUS inside in the interior, and you will see the best of what we have to offer in terms of performance. So it is everything. It's an interesting question for me because the way the brand has developed, the way the BRABUS has developed in the last couple of years was not only unbelievable, is still not only unbelievable to me, but also I have seen and I feel that today, more than ever, when somebody orders a car from us, and the boat is also a good example because there is no question whether it's not a tuning product, so it's never just the exterior or the interior, or that doesn't really exist on the boat. For the motorcycle, the new 1300R that we just published also, you can only get it as it is. In the last couple of years, we have seen more and more customers that want the whole package, that want the exterior, the performance, the interior, in other words, a finished look of a fully branded and fully outfitted product. Next question by Jonas. What's next? A plane from you. It's interesting because somebody was asking me lately, I believe it was, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And the answer is, I have absolutely no idea. I don't even get the concept of that kind of question. So we of course make plans as a business, and we are obligated to plan in all kinds of ways. However, creatively and in terms of projects and new product categories, the reality is that sometimes you can plan things and sometimes things happen because, as in the case of BRABUS Marine, my father and I walked the Düsseldorf boat show and get to know a couple of crazy Finnish guys. Shout out to Jan Vitala and his team. And you decide to build a prototype of a boat that then became the first BRABUS Shadow 800 by Axopar. version that we showed on the Düsseldorf Boat Show 2 years later in 2018. You get introduced to a watch brand that you love through a customer that is also a customer of ours, as in the case of our Panerai partnership. Or you get introduced to KTM and meet the guys over in Mattighofen and discover that two brands and cultures fit very well. So what I'm trying to say is entrepreneurship and working on a brand is oftentimes planned, especially the small steps, the optimizations, the scaling of business models. All those things can be planned, and it's craftsmanship. You have to work on it every day. New product categories, meetings with people that inspire you and bring with them a company, a brand, a product, a platform that you can use to build something new can rarely be planned. So the honest to God answer is I have no idea. We have some early leads and some projects that we're working on, but also I've had to realize, I always want, when we set deadlines, my favorite deadline is yesterday for something to come out. And also I've had to realize that when we start working on a project today, it is most likely not coming out before 2024. So let's see what we do. I mean, let's finish it up this way. What do you want to see? Is it a BRABUS plane? Is it e-bikes? Is it it's something that people are asking for? Electric motorbikes? What is it? Let me know in the comments. I will listen very carefully, as always. Next question by Techman. Do you only rebuild new vehicles or used ones as well? I would like to buy a G63 soon. Techman, thank you very much for the question. You're not alone. Right now, of course, the whole world wants to buy, it seems like the whole world wants to buy a G63. The market's completely crazy out there. In terms of BRABUSizing, we can BRABUSize new G63s. We can BRABUSize G63s that have been driven. It always depends on what you consider used. Is it 100 kilometers? Is it 1,000 kilometers? Is it 10,000 kilometers? Is it 50,000 kilometers? And what do you want to do with it? If, again, you want to change or update the interior, no problem. If you want a set of wheels for your car, no problem. If you want to upgrade the performance of your engine, very clear answer is we would have to look at how old that engine is, how that engine's been used, and it's probably going to affect what kind of warranty we offer you for that car. So it depends. If you want to BRABUSize a G63, send me a direct message or comment under this video, and we're going to take care of you. Next question by Tomasz, Tomasz, I think it's Czech. Pochon. Hi Constantin, does BRABUS take on apprentices, and what is BRABUS's positioning on taking on people who've already had a career but would like to take a new direction at BRABUS as a mechatronics engineer, for example? Tomasz, thank you for the question. We offer both apprenticeships and internships, and it's been a big part of what, a big part of Team BRABUS is made up of people that came into our company this way. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you're normally, of course, apprentices start off as young as, I believe, 16 or 17. But I mean, this is just my opinion. But honestly, whether you're 16 or 60 doesn't really matter to me. We've got shit to do, and we have to get things done. If you have the right mindset and you fit into our team, that's the only thing that I'm looking for. In any case, if you want to apply to BRABUS, I'm getting so many messages right now. I'm getting so many direct messages and comments of people asking, just like you, how you can apply to BRABUS. Please do it through brabus.com. It is the only channel that we can accept. And I myself, I cannot be a part of the application process, and will always direct you towards brabus.com. So that is the one and only channel where our HR pros will receive your application. Send it in via the HR section at brabus.com, and we will read through it very carefully and respond to you. Last but not least, because you're asking about engineering, it's a tough gig. We have some capable people in engineering, but give it a shot. You never know. Next question by Felice96. Is it possible to complete a compulsory internship at BRABUS? Felice, thank you very much for the question. Just like what I said about Tomasz's question, yes, it is possible. Please send us your application through brabus.com. It is the only way we can take in applications. And in terms, because you're specifically asking about internships, we do it a lot, and it makes sense to start off in a company as an intern. From your username, I'm guessing you were born in '96, so absolutely that would be the right age bracket to do an internship at BRABUS. The key word right now is compulsory. So how long do you want your internship to be? Is it meant to be an internship in the middle of your studies? Is it meant to be an internship at the beginning of your studies? Have you finished university and you want to do an internship? Are you not going to university and you just want to do an internship? So all of those things I would need to know to answer your question. But the general answer is still the same. Send us your application through brabus.com and we will find out together. Nate_I is asking, what happens to BRABUS when the sale of combustion engine cars is banned? Good question. I think, well, it's a simple answer. Then we will probably be selling products that have a different drivetrain or powertrain, such as electric cars or fuel cell driven cars, or cars that still have a combustion engine but utilize synthetic fuels. There's so many variants out there in the market being developed right now that I don't think anybody can tell you where we're going to be in 10 years. Right now, in terms of automobiles, our role is that we are one step behind the OEM players in the industry. In other words, we are dependent on what Mercedes-Benz and others are doing, and then we are working with that. As I've said many times in the last couple of years, and I will probably say countless times again, I believe that for the last 45 years we've been selling individuality, luxury and exclusivity, and that is not going to change whether a car is powered by a combustion engine, an electric engine, a fuel cell or anything else. This has been fun, as always. Thank you very much. And also for next time, we're going to do this again in exactly 4 weeks. Send us your questions and comments to every single BRABUS channel out there. For example, to my Instagram @ConstantinBRABUS or to my YouTube channel @ConstantinBRABUS. We'll pick them up and discuss them in one of the upcoming videos. I have to say this is fun and I'm getting something out of it each and every time. You guys are asking very, very relevant questions. I'm taking them with me into the meetings that I'm having all over the company. And I think I could never have seen how valuable this format has now become for me and the team. It's fun to be in touch with you guys. It's fun to see how much you're thinking about our brand, and I will keep doing this as best as I can. Until then, see you next time.